Hey, what's up YouTube land? It's me, Vinny, and today I am reviewing the FZ1000 by Panasonic Lumix. This 20.1 megapixel DSLR is incredible at both capturing still photographs and 4K video resolution. I purchased this camera in August of 2014 and I figured it was way due for a review. As far as video, this camera picks up great colorful detail in 4K at 30 frames per second or 24 frames per second. Also, if your content is just going to be viewed on a 1080 monitor or mobile device, you can also record in 1080 and the image quality is still going to be amazing. I often get asked from non-photographers or non-video creators who always come up to me and say, hey, what does your camera record on, tape or film? And honestly, it just records on an SD card. You can use either an 8 gig or all the way up to 128 gig. However, I find personally that a 64 gig is perfect for me. The battery life can last approximately 1 hour and a half. That's why I highly recommend purchasing a few extra batteries if you're going to be on the road for a while, or you're doing a day trip with your family or whatever. It's nice to have extra batteries because you always think, oh, I need to get that one more shot or one more scene, and it's nice to have a whole stack of batteries with you. The lens is non-detachable and has a f2.8 to 4 lens that's made by Leica. This lens is incredible. This camera shoots okay at night. It can pick up a little noise if your ISO is over 800, but always shoot with the lowest ISO possible. The mode dial feels pretty plasticky and pretty cheap. When changing the dial modes, I wouldn't force it or spin it too fast, as the camera sensor is trying to think of which mode you're switching it to. Many of the modes are customizable like most DSLR cameras. But when shooting in 4K video, the mode dial must be turned on the camera dial though. This is a great all-in-one camera for medium shots to close-ups for objects, landscape, or something you're trying to capture far away in the distance with its 25 to 400 millimeter 35mm equivalent zoom lens. When filming solo, or if your subject, like a model, says, hey, can I look at myself before, you hit the shutter and take my picture or shoot video roll, can I see how I look in the frame, how's my makeup, whatever. This camera's great because it comes with a 3-inch fully articulated LCD screen with 920,000 dots. Or if you just want to take that perfect selfie, it's helpful too. Many family and friends are always impressed with my footage being so steady. They're like, hey, I know that's freehand, but how did you get that so freaking steady? Well, with over 10 years of experience, of course, and help from this little 5-axis image stabilizer, it makes the video shots I take very smooth, which I can appreciate. This camera has a 3.5 microphone jack for recording interviews, or basically you can mount any microphone that has a 3.5mm jack. However, one thing that this beastly camera lacks is a headphone jack to monitor your audio. The camera has a remote shutter input for wired shutters if you have one, a HDMI mini cable output to output your video to a TV or on-set monitor. It also has a AV out digital output, which I have never used in the 3 years of owning this camera, but I'm sure it could come in handy. I do like the manual zoom and manual focus setting on this camera to get that perfect shot. Speaking of settings, there are plenty of customizable settings and functions to get the right frames you're hoping to achieve. There are built-in filters too, which I never touch because I process all my images in post-editing anyway, but if you're just on a vacation and you just want some fancy filter, I'm sure there are ones that you will like in the click of a setting. Here's some 4K footage that I shot in the city walking along the Manhattan Bridge over to Brooklyn and in Chinatown, as well as some still images to show you how vivid this camera sensor really is without any post-processing or post-editing. Well, make sure you comment and subscribe to see more reviews and keep up with my other projects I have going on too. If you have any questions about this product, leave those down in the comments below. Remember, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Flickr, and VinnieLangdonShow.com. Until next time, I'm Vinnie, and thank you for watching this video.